talking about Krump politics, and the idea of apologizing, taking accountability, goes a long way to a whole community, right? With a lot of people, and you were sharing so many insights about these things, and I also personally have traumas from my childhood, and I still try to revisit them, try to forgive those aspects of what I experienced and the people who caused it, and because they're not here sometimes, who I can have like a real conversation. So I had to let it go by myself. So I help myself with meditation, or really conversing about these deep topics to somebody, and really letting it go as a therapy for myself. And Krump definitely helps in the individual aspect. So this is something I do, being in overseas, as a Krumper, in terms of Krump perspective. How do you think people handle in the cities in America, or in the community wherever you have touched your presence with? What do you feel?
See, everybody I come across, because also one thing too is also I'm a mentor to a lot of people. Um, so I use the simple things that I've learned, like, I try to tell people about themselves as much as possible, because sometimes you need to be a mirror for people. You just need to, something they said, just say it back to them, be like, hey, you told this person this. Do you so they could be like, that's messed up. Yeah, you said that. Like, so sometimes accountability needs help. Like it's not gonna just happen for a lot of people. Because while you're trying to help someone, there's also a group of people telling that person that he's not wrong. Like, you're not wrong. Like,
Yeah.
you're good. You're perfect. Like, so what? I would have said the same thing. There's people who's trying to help you, but then there's a wave of people who see no wrong in what you're doing. And that took a heavy toll on the dance. So as I go down the line and I try to help people, and people help me as well, because self therapy is a thing as well too. It's not if you are not willing to accept that you're not always right, self therapy is not gonna help you. It's not gonna help you at all. So it's difficult. It's difficult for self therapy. Sometimes self therapy is forced on you. Sometimes the person is not around no more. Sometimes that person did so much to you, you can't even look at them. So you
Yeah.
have to do your best, and what you need with the people around you that love you, and you have to express yourself. And that's where I come in at, where I help communities and stuff. I give them a space to express themselves about their community, if it has to be one-on-one, or to their community. If you need opinions, if you just need a ear just to listen, like, yo, I'll listen to what you have going on, and I'll have my opinion about it, and I'll let you know. I gave people numbers to Wonder Good therapists, cheap therapists, free therapists. I've handed these out to multiple communities in Krump before. And it's because it's beyond the dance. Everyone be like, this is just a dance, blah, blah, blah. But this is more of a culture. Like, we have our own culture, we have our community, our own slang, the way we dress. This is our own thing. It's our own art form,
Yeah.
that we all put into every day. Every day we wake up and we choose Krump. That's a win for Krump. So
Yeah.
yeah, so that's what I try to do for my part.
Damn. Thank you, Rex. Like, of course, I remember you watch most of the people Krump videos on, like, on Instagram or wherever it is. So you like to be updated. That's something that you told in one of your lives, or I read it in a post or a caption like that. So it really makes me understand from what you're saying that you're mostly connected to the Krump community around the world, right? From where it is, from your doorstep to overseas, you're always there in any other form. That's amazing. Like, a huge shout out for you to take your time to do that, because people definitely need that. The simple thing that in Bangalore, in south side of India, that we do every after session, we do sit down and talk about things. Like we like to connect with the newcomers or people who are really tensed in their minds. They want to come, so we don't talk much. We lab and session. After the session, we sit down and communicate with each other, like what's up, what's going on with your life. So why did you have to get off in a certain way that you did today? What happened in your life? We could hear the stories in their dance, but we would like to know more, because most of the Krumpers, I feel, are very reserved people, even including me. I'm a very reserved person. Just dancing now made me a little bit more socially active, but I could see that in others. When I look at somebody, I can really understand they want to talk about something. They're eager to let go in verbally, but they hold back. And I think every after session, it's easy to sit down and understand about each other. That's where it builds the brotherhood and sisterhood in this culture, right? It really helps to people to let go and be themselves and go home happy. I think Krump is a happy dance, right? And we can really choose the emotions that we like to express. That's super cool.
Yes, I agree too. I fully agree.
Thank you. So I have a question from one of the Krumper, which I put out on Instagram. So this is, can you please share us one lesson from your Krump life that you had to learn the hard way?
That what I had to learn the hard way was winning isn't everything. So I thought coming up that you need to win every battle, because you see like tie-dyes and like the good ones, and you're like, oh, he's undefeated, so I guess that's what I have to do in order to be somebody in this dance, So once I realized like that was a hard pill to swallow for me, because I would practice, as people could see, like I try to be perfect on the dance floor. I rarely mess up my moves because I'm really myself. And I feel like once I learned that it's not about like battling, it's not about winning. No matter what the occasion is, no matter what the battle is, even if you want to, it's not about winning. Once I learned that it's about the experience you leave on the dance floor and how you reach everyone around you, that's even better. And this happened, a battle I lost. I lost a battle, but everyone talked about me.
Yeah. Because of
and I was wondering what was going on. I'm like, I lost. They was like, so your vibe was cooler. You did the cooler move. We can't stop thinking about your move. We don't care that you lost. The experience you left for us on that dance floor was amazing. And then I felt like, oh, I was like, why do I feel like I won then? And it's because as soon as you agree to battle when you step on the dance floor, you already win. So once I learned this in Krump. Once you learn there's different ways to win, you are going to excel in this dance, in any dance, in life. It's different ways to win. You lost this battle, guess what? You were on the flyer. You was on the flyer, one win. You got the battle, another win. You finished the battle, you completed it. That's another win. 3 wins. So all you did was lose the battle. 3 wins so far. People are coming up to you. They're excited that you just dance. People are asking you about your style. It's another win. People walk away feeling defeated because of 1 loss, but walking away with 10 wins, and they're not paying attention to them 10 wins because it's not the big shiny one. A win is a win.
It's super cool. Yeah, because you're a winner all the time, right? Like in a way, like it's a way of how you use your perspective towards these experiences in life. And definitely from what you said, you touch lives with your presence. That's the biggest win. People can go home feeling touched by you. Right? That's an amazing feeling.
Yeah, it is. They go in their living room, they try to move they just seen you do. They're sitting there smiling, messing up the move, falling, having an amazing time thinking about a move you took time to create, that you put your time into. That's a win.
Damn. And that brings me to one of the battles that I saw. You right? I was in EBS. You can share how much detail you want to share about this. It was against Flipside. I was there to see this round, and for me, it's just the battle round, right? It was just the battle round, and the way it took the energy got elevated. That's totally you, brother. It was crazy, crazy mind space, and the whole energy shifted in this place after your round. And please tell us a little bit about it. Like, what was your mindset behind this round, or the creativity of REXX? Let's go.
So, like me being a battlehead, off rip, they were saying we can call out who we want. I always look for the best dancer. Who I think is the best dancer, I'm battling you.
Yeah.
Because one, I don't ever go for the easy win or going to the next round because I didn't care about none of that. I
Mm.
said, I think to myself like a chance to battle Flipside. I'm not missing this. I said I want to battle Flipside, you know?
Yeah.
And even when I said I battle Flipside, the energy, everybody in the room was like, oh my God, that's what I care about. I
Yeah.
told you I only care about leaving the experience on the dance floor. So one thing first, I was nervous. I'm always nervous when I battle someone extremely talented because I'm like, oh, I'm about to get my ass whooped, you know?
Mm.
So um just build up. I just know like, I know how to attack in different ways of dance. So one thing for sure, I knew I was gonna flip one of Flipside's moves that he did. So I knew I was gonna flip that already because it's always stuck in my head. Anytime I hear Flipside, I think about the move. So I knew I was gonna do that. Um, and after I landed the Flipside, like rebuttal, and then I
Mhm.
spent, and then usually Flesh takes over, REXX takes over, and I'm like, oh, I took his hat off, bounced it off his head, caught it, and I just heard all the noise rush me in my ear, and I
Yeah.
didn't know what to do next. I literally blacked out. After I caught the hat, it was black, and I just heard everyone screaming, and then they're like, "Oh man, you just choked Flipside," and I did. Like literally, I blacked out, and it
You
was
had, yeah.
one of the most it was most one of the most amazing experience for me. My first time being at the EBS, me making it on the main stage, my first time. It's like I was, like I said, different ways of wins. I was winning already. I
Yeah.
got flown out to the EBS. I didn't have to pay for anything. It was just too much going on for me. So
Yeah.
it was a experience, and like yeah, I blacked out towards the end of it. I can't even remember what I was thinking or anything because once I got like my color back in my eyes and to see everything,
Mhm.
it was already like over and stuff. And then
Damn,
they
that
said,
was that was a legendary round that I witnessed in the whole EBS. That's for sure. Because it
yeah,
had the whole thing in a round, right? Whatever you can ask in a round, it was there,
mhm,
and it was just a different energy in terms of being, making it look more personal in a way because of your character. And one of the gems that I just got from you now is you considered REXX as your flesh. That's character, right? So you would
mhm,
consider flesh as your character. Any flesh that we put on the Krump skeleton is a character. That's the gem
yes,
for the viewers and listeners of Krump World, right?
mhm,
Yeah, thanks
yes,
for that too. Yeah,
no problem.
but yeah, but EBS was amazing. And how was
Yeah,
India? You were in India, right? Indian Krump Festival. Right after
that
that, how was
that
Indian
was
Krump Festival?
probably India was probably my favorite trip I've ever taken. It was just cool. Like I like the hotel. The hotel breakfast was amazing. The people is just amazing. It's like cows everywhere. It was just like stuff just it was just so much about India that just kept me smiling the whole time. Like it was just good from beginning to end. Like nothing was like a bother to me. Like, the people are
Yeah,
just good. They start welcoming. They like, it's they make you feel so well out there. Like they appreciate you. Like, me being from
yeah.
the States, people tell me all the time that I'm like, they be like, look at this famous guy, REXX, you're so famous, you're so famous. Like, and I don't feel like that. I'm like, yo, I'm just like you, I'm not famous. But India, that was the first time I've ever felt famous. Like I felt like Beyonce. I was like, okay. I do.
Beyonce of Krump.
Yes, I felt like it. And I just, it was just so, I just appreciated everyone so much. And it was so many of them, but I wish I could have got to talk to everyone one on one and lab with everyone. You know, Hectic, my little homie, he asked me,
Yeah.
he was like, it's your last day in India. What do you want to do? I said, can we session? I want to session with everyone and talk to everybody.
Mm.
And at the session, I was even down to watch people rounds. People were bringing their rounds to me in their phone, and I was watching, and I was telling them what they could do to fit. And that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to talk and hang
Yeah.
out with everybody. Even when I go to India again, hopefully I get to talk and hang out with more people. Because, like I said, it's the community that keeps me smiling and wanting to crump. And like
Yeah.
India is such a strong community because they're like, listen, we're all here to see Krump.
Yeah.
Let's see this Krump. There's like, it's like I don't feel no ego in the room. Someone loses a battle, they clap for him. That person does not leave like the event or leave. He goes
Yeah.
right back to the side and hype the next dancer. It was just like super cool and like people were winning battles. They was picking them up, and they're just like, yeah. They were so happy. Like, I just remember Deepa.
Yeah.
Deepa. I just remember her reaction when she won, and like it like gave me so much life. Like she was like, oh,
What?
it was just like she was just like let's like it was like so raw, like to see her like reaction to that because it was like real. And sometimes like here in the States, the politics and stuff like that get in the way. So when people win, we just clap it up and it goes there. So it was
Yeah.
refreshing. Like India was refreshing to know that Krump like that still like make people feel like they won the lotto. It still exists.
Yeah.
Like it exists. Like her expression stays with me
Mm.
like all the time because I just sat there and I just remember being happy for her.
Damn.
Everyone else being happy for her. Even a
Yeah.
person even a person that lost and went against her, looking at her, smiling of joy.
Damn. Yeah. We
So
love to
like,
celebrate. I think
yeah, like,
we love to celebrate. We need reasons to celebrate. That's it.
yeah.
Like
So like
Krump
it's
is
the
the reason. It's so
yeah,
amazing. And definitely anybody who travels to India would always feel like a superstar or Beyonce of Krump, as he said. The level of energy that we give out to people is super cool. It's super amazing, right? Like
it's
we would like to scream our lungs out for people that we love because they're so excited to learn. I remember, like, just want to deviate into one of the workshops that I was attending a couple of years ago in Delhi, and there was Kid NY and Tricks. This was Bring the Buck event. Just want to shout out to my guys there, right, who
mhm.
organized this amazing event. And Tricks was dancing, taking the workshop, and the guy next to me, like, it might be he's younger to me, and he was like, this guy looks so good. I want to marry this guy if I was a girl, right? They get so they get so connected with these things, and no, they idolize so much. They watched you guys on the videos, and they feel just being in this present makes them Krump. It's not even trying to Krump. They feel Krump when you guys are there. That's why we give out so
Yeah.
much energy. That's super cool. Thanks for sharing that experience about that trip. So when you're coming back to India, like, I really want to host you with my friends and everybody again the next time.
Um, um, it's gonna be soon. It's gonna be soon.
Yeah.
It's
Awesome.
gonna be pretty soon. So yeah,
Yeah,
I can't.
that's good news, brother, because people have to learn from you. And I
Yeah,
remember the workshop was full in EBS, and it was so amazing. People told me that how much new perspectives that you opened up, gave them new possibilities, right, in your workshops about especially core work and the character and the whole idea of working out. I saw a little bit of the videos, and I was like, damn, I missed this. It was amazing that I had to be there, right? Like, but I spoke to people who were there, and they all loved the class of yours. Definitely, I wanted to tell you that.
appreciate that.
Yeah. And I have another question from one of the Krumpers, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, who has the biggest influence on your Krump career?
Biggest influence on my Krump career.
Yeah.
Um, I am there. Like, uh, my biggest influence may my biggest influence on my current career will be my little homies.
Damn.
Like, literally, it's them. Like, I watch them, and I just think like, you are too good, and it makes me want to
Yeah.
be good. Like, I just smile of it's just they just there's like just so much greatness come from them, and because I've seen them from the beginning when I got them into where they're at now, and then you know there's people all around the world talking to me about my little homies, and that's just inspiring, like inspiring to me, and I just see them like that's like really one of my like biggest inspirations, and Krump is my little homies. Beast, he's one of my inspirations in Krump. Solo, he's one of my inspirations in Krump. My my
Mm,
wife, she's one of my
yeah.
biggest inspirations in Krump. Seen her, man, I seen her like have a session, and like she threw this session like for like months, and it was only two people there, me
Damn.
and Laura Racer from Japan, and she just kept throwing it, and then the session turned into four people, and then turned into
Mm,
five people. She just kept going. Like my wife, she does not give up, and what she did for her community to evolve, it inspires me that you don't have to give up on communities,
mm,
because I see people give up on their communities and move somewhere else and try to like grow with a different community because their community wasn't doing nothing or vibing with them or nothing. Like like Knives gave me that, like, yo, like, don't give up on your community no matter what, and no matter the beef in it, who don't like it, who thinks like they run Krump or something like that. You got to keep going with your stuff, and eventually people will just catch on, and they be like, I understand what she's trying to do for the community, and I want to help. So,
damn.
uh,
That's
yeah, those are like my biggest inspirations for like this dance. I'm not gonna lie, and finally, I'll say Spartan
yeah.
and Judge as well too. Lil S. Judge, because uh, Spartan is just literally, I feel like he is the to closest to Titans to me. Like,
Yeah.
if not better in
Mm,
some areas, far as because he does the rapping, he does the beat making, he
yeah.
does the clothing line, he has the fam, Spartan just like embody that. And he's from the East Coast, so I feel like the West Coast has tie dyes as they go, and I feel like the East Coast, us, we have Spartan as our goal. So
Damn.
that's why I
Yeah.
say there. Judge, he's literally like a goat of community. He raised the Buffalo community,
Mm-hmm.
moved, raised the Maryland community, moved, raised another community. He's currently raising the Houston community. So he's a man that raises community. He goes where he's needed. He like, y'all don't need me no more. I'm gonna go to another place that needs me. What
Damn.
doing this while still working a regular job. He has one of the biggest houses in Crump. His house is as nice as ever
Mm,
while still working a job, has one of the best fams. Fams own studios, own their homes, all types of stuff. He's a different type of leader. Like those are like all of my like main inspirations of like crime.
such an inspiring bunch of people that you just put out. Like, shout out to Spartan and Judge as well. This super crazy.
Yeah,
Definitely. Spartan is one of the best OG ever, I would feel, because every time I feel low, I this was told by my big homie, Half God.
mhm.
He would tell, go watch Spartans Round if you feel low. I watch Spartans Round, and the whole vocabulary changes about my perspective about Crump, because each era he kept evolving. He's still evolving. He's showing us new ways, right? So amazing people.
Yeah,
But
right.
yeah.
Technically, he is the best crumper in the world. Technically,
Yeah, we're gonna note that down. Next Rex mentioned this, of course, right?
yes.
It's legend. Yeah, it's legend.
Yeah,
Crazy. Yeah, like from the previous thing that what I just heard, like you're creator of NBH, your family, right? Your
yeah,
from family. and you said your little homies are your big inspiration. As
Yeah.
such a sensei, big homie words, we respect that coming from you because it shows an example of a character of a big homie, right? Because most of the people misunderstand the ideology of being a big homie or a big brother because it has a lot of responsibility and accountability because you're dealing with people and it's not just about dance. It's a whole, it's like you're gonna mentor them for the rest of their life. It's like a huge responsibility, right? And I think you're doing an amazing job. And I wanted to shoot out a question of what did you think about the recent battles? How proud are you about your little homies? I saw the Battle of Dice, if I'm saying his name right, and then Brutal. Brutal is your little homie as well. I saw their battles. They were taking workshop in this battle. Man, that was amazing. That they were teaching people about posture, about body work, and I was learning watching this footage. I was having so much fun. You jumping around. I wanted to like take you back into those recent past memories so you can tell us more about it.
Yeah, see, like, see, I have like, the way I run my fam, I have my killers,
Yeah.
I have my, I have my like, my pillars, that keeps make sure everybody good and stuff like that. So when when my killers touch the floor, which is like, Dice and Brutal, they're in the killer category. When they
Mm,
touch the floor, I just smile immediately because they are just so good. Like
yeah.
like me being in that moment, like I'm not like everyone else. Like I've seen I've seen them before they
Mm,
were here, um, and it's a proud feeling anytime win, lose or draw. As soon as they chest pop, I'm smiling hard as ever. Like, it's just a drive. They're I just appreciate them so much, and like they treat me so well as a big homie. They love me as a big homie. I love them too as little homies, and I understand as a big homie. I took responsibility for their talent,
mm,
so now that you once you take on a big homie, you don't have to really sit there and think like, damn, how I'm gonna do this, how I'm gonna get buck. Like you invited someone in on your career, and that got left behind because people just got lazy and start picking up a bunch of people. But just like me, I anything they do, they could send me a footage of them getting dog. I'll be proud.
mm.
They finished that battle and they walked away with their head up. Like and like just like that in the Midwest corner session, I just like I was just so in tune because I literally came there. I had no battle. I didn't teach. I didn't judge. I didn't do anything. I
Mm,
literally came there because my little homies was back.
damn.
And that's what I do sometimes. Sometimes I see my little homies going somewhere. I'll go there because I want to see it in person. I don't want to see the footage. I want to experience with you. I tell
Mm,
my little homies, you are not there. You're not battling this person alone. It's me and you versus him.
yeah.
You're not out there
Yeah.
alone. Like
Yeah.
their big homie is gonna sit there and nod their head and be quiet and stuff. But I
Hmm.
was like, not me.
Mm,
We about to jump him.
yeah.
There ain't no
Yeah.
fair ones, only farewells with us, man. This is
Yeah.
what we do. So cause what I learned about the dance is that you can feel extremely lonely on that dance floor when people
Yeah.
are just looking at you and watching. I hype so it feels like it's 10 people hyping you. So you can feel like you're getting that energy so you can give energy.
Yeah.
I don't never want my little homies to have an alone feel on a dance floor, especially being so talented. So I like just reliving that. I just felt like I was in the battle with them. Like so,
Damn.
like
Yeah.
Brutal talking about the body work and stuff. I'm like, that is just getting me hyped because I'm like, what? I'm
Yeah.
like workshops happening here. Hopefully I listen and stuff. So it
Yeah.
like really that moment is just too crazy. I just watched the footages like recently, because I relive my little homies battles a lot. So yeah, I'll be in there with them.
Yeah. It, I think it was so crazy. Like you had to share, and the way it all happened, and it's on footage, right? So others can watch it out. I can put up the video links below in the description so people can go watch your little homies and see the Krump culture, how the whole thing went down. It's so amazing. Everybody should check it out for sure. But huge shout out to your little homies. So we are almost nearing to the end of this podcast and channel, NBH forever, right? Like, so super cool. That's the sign that you guys give up. Can you guys show it to the viewers so we can see what it is?
So it's just this.
Yeah.
And here, so you just make it like that. So it's just like neighborhood. Listen, neighborhood.
Neighborhood.
And then we just point at the world, just for like the world. So it's like big world.
Damn. And then I remember Dice was doing this. It's like spicing it up with the end of the round.
This is the difference. This is also a group from MG Pack.
The difference.
I'm also a leader of that as well. So it's a group that's have my little homies, Paul little homies, and some other individuals that's not under me and Paul. But you know, if you're part of the difference, you're basically under me and Paul too. So that'll be the sign. It's just us pouring, like, you know, out the East Coast, like the East Coast, and us pouring it out. You know, and then we usually throw it. You know? That's another.
It's such a fam thing. It's so amazing that you shared that with us. It's crazy. Yeah. Now we know the meaning of it. Like when we see it on the videos, we can understand what is it all about. Yeah. Super crazy. So I have before I get into the closing questions, like I wanted to ask you something about Krump, the name Krump being copyrighted in the world. That's something that we knew very little from where we come from. Is there something really happening in terms of the politics in Krump that what would you share your opinion about that so that we can educate ourselves about it? What's the situation with the word Krump or Krump being like copyrighted just by a group?
So this been like cases, like there's so many people that own the word Krump, you know, Krump Inc., you know, Krump this, Krump that, Krump Kings. There people copyrighted so much stuff about Krump. You can look it up. So many people own a piece of Krump. I own a piece of Krump. So that is just like, you know, the business side of things that people try to do, you know, and it gets clashed because it's like creators, like in it, like creators thinking like, you know, where's your place to try to copyright Krump or sell Krump to people or sign Krump over to someone, you know. One thing's for sure, a lot of people that own some of these Krump things haven't did a jab or arm swing in their life. They're just people that seen Krump and noticed they could benefit off of it, so they wanted to do things and stuff from it. So, there's a whole bunch of people that got like Krump copyrighted. Like it's owned by a lot of people. Like pieces of it, you know, pieces of it is separated throughout like the whole. Pieces of it separated throughout the whole Krump community. You know, there's people overseas that own pieces of Krump. There's people all the way in like Australia and then what's the name? So it's just a growing thing. That was an argument that like didn't need to happen because no matter who owns the name or copyrighted, we are Krump. All of us are Krump. We all make up Krump. That's why I never got too up into who owns the name. It doesn't matter because we all make up and make Krump. Like that's just the name. The community, the vibes, our fams, our groups, that's us.
The contribution altogether, right? It's true. But thanks for clarifying that. I think I saw something funny yesterday, like similar. I can relate to this in a way that there's this person in America. This story was about making a joke with not Elon Musk is the biggest, wealthiest person in the world. There's another person from America who owns acres of land on each planet, starting off with the moon. But he bought acres of land online on the moon, Mars, Jupiter, and different places. He even sold certain pieces of moon to 3 presidents of the United States. It was so unique to understand this. That's what kind of relates to what you're saying. People not even being in part of the Krump community owns a piece of Krump. That's really
Yes.
like how things work in human perspective. It's very different and weird in a way
Yeah.
because it's real people trying to work towards their passion and sacrifice so many things to keep it real, just to dance and move, right? So it's so much sweat and blood that can be
Mhm.
easily taken away because of little money or because nobody did a copyright on that. It's very different thing. I really wanted
Yeah.
to ask you that. Thanks for sharing that with me.
No, no problem.
Yeah, super crazy. So, what would be the 3 books that you would like to recommend to the viewers or the listeners of this channel or podcast?
3 books.
Yeah.
I ain't the biggest book reader.
All right.
So let me just see. I can tell you. Let
Yeah.
me check this real quick.
Sure. Yeah, you can even go for 3 movies that you can recommend people, right? Like, yeah, 3 books or
Okay,
three
so we're gonna
movies.
do
Yeah.
movies
Yeah,
because
why not? Let's go.
3 movies.
Yeah.
It's a movie called Everything Everywhere All at Once. That's one
Okay.
of the best movies I've seen. They got to multiverse. If you like multiverse stuff like that,
Yeah.
I feel like they have the multiverse down the best. If the multiverse exists, I feel like this that's one movie, Everything Everywhere All at Once. That's the first movie.
Yeah.
The second movie is going to be, let me see here. Uh uh it is going to be a romantic comedy. It's
Okay.
called I Want You Back. It's on Amazon Prime.
All right.
Uh so I Want You Back is a romantic comedy. It's really good. I'm a love guy. I love
Yeah.
love. So, so that
Yeah.
movie is really good. And for the final movie, I would say is what would be this final movie? I would say.
Something
Um
really impacted you.
yeah, that really impacted me. I'm gonna go with uh Paid in Full. Paid in Full is an old school hood movie. Okay.
Damn.
Old
Damn.
school hood movie, and you'll learn a lot from watching that movie. So I'm gonna say Paid in Full for the last one. So those are 3 different genres of
Yeah.
music, give you all 3 different vibes. But yeah,
Yeah.
those are 3 movies I would suggest people to watch.
Yeah, I'll try to find the links for these movies or names that I can put in the description. So even I'm eager to watch them and see what these movies impacted REXX that can really impact me too. Right? Like super cool.
Yeah.
So while we're in the topic of movies, this is for a little fun. Like, have you watched this movie called They Live?
What's it called?
They Live?
They Live.
Yeah. One of my friends showed me this. It's an Hollywood movie. Like it was made in 1983, if I'm not wrong, right? It's on YouTube. It's like a Matrix, the movie about Matrix before the real Matrix. It's called They Live.
They
It's
Live. You know
yeah,
what? I haven't seen that, but you said it's
yeah.
on.
You should check it out. It's on YouTube. The whole movie is on YouTube. It's only 1 hour, 45 minutes or something. It's super cool. You should check it out. It's an amazing movie. They kind of broke down the idea of the Matrix and everything back in the day.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. I think I found it too. I'm gonna go ahead and bookmark this.
Definitely. Because I watched this, it kind of like took my mind away. So like, how did I miss this movie? Nobody mentioned about this movie, right? So I had to let you know about it.
Mhm.
So what's one question you wish I would have asked you, and how would you would have answered?
One question. I don't know. You asked some pretty good questions. I ain't gonna lie. Kind of like all the questions. You did
Thank you,
good.
thank you.
I don't think it was nothing. Uh. Nah, I don't think I got nothing. I'm satisfied
Yeah.
with all the questions.
Oh,
Yeah, I don't, I
that,
don't, I don't got anything.
damn, that makes me really happy about it because I thought I would really miss out on some aspects because
Nah.
I'm happy that I kind of covered whatever that made you like to be open about and share your wisdom and insights about things. Okay, perfect then. Thank you again. So, what is that one advice that you would give to a young Krumper who's just stepping into the Krump community or trying to find himself or try to find an identity? How this person, he or she, can really, uh, you know, grow in this community worldwide, irrespective of being or born in anywhere part of the world.
I would say as many, take, you know, you know, connect with people, you know, take classes. Most important, go to a lot of sessions,
Hmm.
vibe with the community, as in like, try to have a good conversation with people in the community. Uh, if the community's having things like barbecues or like
Mm,
just like a Zoom lab, be present.
yeah,
Uh, take your time, don't rush your career. Like, we want to all rush to greatness, but you don't want to, anything that comes fast is never good. So,
damn, yeah.
just take your time, be patient with it. Just be active in your community. If not dancing, speaking, being there to hype, checking on someone. Like these are things that'll help you grow within your community in a dance, no matter where. You know,
Mm,
uh, uh, networking has been easier because of the internet. Post clips of yourself of your journey, like
mm.
first day crumping, first day at a session. These things people watch and see, and they'll be like, "Dang, I remember you being this good, and now you're this good." Like
Yeah,
that you'll catch that network vibe from people. So like, yeah, just being present in a community is the best thing you can do.
that's super cool. Like this will definitely help the young minds who are stepping into the crumb scene, especially, right?
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense. Yeah, like the
Mhm.
way they can commit to the community is only by doing all the aspects that you just mentioned. And I
Mhm.
have this question from from one of a young Gen. Like again, you might know him, but I don't want to put out his name. I don't know. Maybe I can tell it. Homie, like home, right? Whenever we spoke about things, he would ask me these questions because uh, he would tell me how I would handle my situations when I was a rookie as a crumper in India. So it's pretty much I think most of the people who are new gens now in India don't know how to be guided, right? They don't know who to look up to in our own country. This could be a very controversial thing with because me saying about my country and stuff, but I think it's pretty much should be open out there because we don't want to be another America in terms of in the other aspects of which is smaller, right? The dance aspect is the biggest impact that we look into. There could be some spillovers, right, in terms of mental aspects and emotional aspects because
Mhm.
how somebody would treat or no abuse you basically, right? I'm just saying there shouldn't be even a possibility for these to happen to young people because
Yeah.
yeah, because when I got into this Scrum situation, I was 21 years old, so I was pretty much an adult. So
Yeah.
I was able to handle most of the things by myself. I would keep people or things away so that it doesn't disturb me. But for example, like homie or his generation are much more younger. They're still in their teens, and they think it's really hard for them to be guided in a way because they need somebody who's solid to guide them to become a crump adult, you know. So
Yeah.
how would you tackle this aspects of the question because it's emotional, mental, also crump.
Yeah. So it is pretty, that is a hard question. But being younger in the dance, because we got to see the do's and don'ts. First thing is understanding nobody's perfect.
Mm,
Okay. As a teen, you need to realize that nobody's perfect. So sometimes if you don't agree with someone you're looking up to at the moment, at that time, they might just have messed up. Okay.
mm,
But leaders mess up. Okay. And it's hard to figure out who is the leader and what do I follow, because sometimes the person is just really good at dancing.
mhm.
Okay. Sometimes, the person just has all the team behind them, backing them.
Yeah.
Sometimes So you don't know who to follow. So in that case, like you really have to really pay attention to what you think is right, what you think is
Mm,
wrong. Yes, you're a teenager, but you know, you're not you're not you're not, excuse me for saying this, but like you're not dumb. You
yeah,
know right
yeah,
from wrong though.
yeah,
Now you 18, you're 19, you know right from wrong. Okay.
yeah.
But that's where like forgiveness comes in, and understanding and being able to have a conversation. So that person, the person you can come to
Yeah.
with their flaws, and they do not bash you, stop talking to you, or treat
Mhm.
you crazy, that is the person you follow.
Makes sense here. Just like
You
like
follow
yeah.
you follow whoever's open to conflict. Whoever
Mm,
don't like conflict and get
mhm,
defensive, do not follow that person. Do
mm,
not. Okay? That person must learn to accept uh feedback, criticism, all that
mm,
is supposed to be on them, so that like you won't have to handle it, you know. So you should be able to come up like, with an idea of who to follow. It's hard,
yeah,
and at the end of the day, it starts within yourself because it's what you believe. It's what you believe in. So
yeah.
if you don't agree with something someone's doing, you should not be following them. And if you don't agree with it, if you try to approach them with it, if they come at you or make you feel some type of way, you do not need to follow that person because they're just being defensive instead of
Mm,
listening.
true,
So
true that. Yeah. So from what I got from that, it's pretty much somebody who can listen to you, right? Like somebody who genuinely wants to listen, genuinely want to help you, like to for you to better your craft or better you as a like a human being, right? And
mhm,
somebody the key points to like if you want to be mentored or follow somebody who can align with your morality or your mindset or where the destination you want to walk towards to. If these things align, that's best to follow or be around with these people and avoid people who are getting defensive when then there's a conflict rather than
mhm,
addressing it and getting deep to the roots of the problem and trying to solve it like verbally, right? That makes a lot of
mhm.
sense. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I think,
yeah,
yeah,
because if they can take the criticism and still smile at you and look at you like I respect you a little more, that person is it.
yeah.
But
Mm,
as the person that's going to follow the leader, you must understand that people lead different.
mm,
Just because you don't like it, it might not be wrong. It's just how they lead. And that's
mm,
why it's important for you to pick who you want to follow, who you want to
yeah.
mentor you, who you want to look up in the dance. It starts with yourself, but then after you're done figuring out how you want to follow someone,
Hmm.
you have to figure out what are you following? Like, what is this person? That's
Yeah.
a conversation.
That's a very deep, matured, like revolves around a lot of self-awareness to begin with, right? That's
Yes.
super cool. Yeah. So, what do you think that India needs to work on in terms of Krump dancing? Because from your recent travel, what do you think that we are caught up over the years? Like, for example, any one aspect of Krump that we are just stuck with as a community, or do you think we need to open up more? This because this will definitely help the whole country in this perspective, I guess.
Far as India, first of all, it was a couple new styles that like I've never seen
Mm,
on someone. So
okay.
there's a lot of style in India, like extremely amount of style. The only like I enjoyed everyone's dance, so it's hard for me to say what everyone could work on, but one thing I did see that stand out is that like the small stuff, like
Okay. Mm,
everyone in India goes for the big move, the big wow all the time. When something as simple as like just like hitting this and then letting it fall down and back up, that's super small,
yeah.
but it's extremely effective. The less is more. I feel
Mhm.
like that's what India is missing because like me and like Beast were going crazy for the small stuff, and then the
Mm,
big stuff happened. So then we were like super excited, but
yeah.
like the small stuff is like really really important. It's like that is where the talent really shows because
Mm,
like that's cool. It's cool you
yeah.
can flip.
Yeah.
It's cool
Yeah.
you could do a big ass flip and hit on the floor. That's cool.
Mm,
But it's it's the smaller things. Like, what can you do with less though? Like,
Yeah.
what can you do with less? Because if we take that big flip out your round,
Hmm.
what else do we remember?
Yeah. Yeah. Makes
So
sense.
so it's the build up thing. So I would like, as India as a whole, I would like to see the less is more.
Mm,
Like, how can you make one thing feel like the big thing?
yeah. Like,
Like, yeah,
did I get it right? It's pretty much being simple and detailed at the same time, right?
yes,
Yeah.
yes. You
So,
don't have to be
cool.
extreme every
Yeah.
second.
Yeah, not always be creative, trying to do big moves. It's
Yeah.
even the smallest thing. That's what you were telling in your live, right? Like I think I got in at the last moment. You were telling about doing the same moves. For example, like using this gesture to use
Hmm.
your elbows. This simple detail helps you to work with your body. That's
Hmm.
super cool. That's what we need
Yeah,
to.
it is. It's a variety thing too.
Yeah.
That's another
Mm,
thing. So the small things and like variety. Variety in Krump is not a bunch of things you could do. Like, can you do flips? Can you do backflips? Can you do ground moves? No.
mm,
Variety in Krump is taking one thing and
yeah.
making it a million different ideas with one thing. Making
Yeah.
one thing a million things.
Damn.
That's that's the variety thing. Like, if
Yeah.
this spider is happening, this spider is going to do my ground moves. This spider going to damn near do my hat move, and then
Yeah.
I'll get rid of the spider once I'm bored with it. But it's
Mm,
enjoy your ideas. Don't cheat yourself.
damn. Can you tell that again, if you don't mind, in
Yeah,
the last part of it?
you
And
enjoy your ideas. Don't cheat yourself, because
damn, yeah.
a lot of dancers do cool stuff and just move on,
Mm.
and then we're sitting there like, dang, they should have did that 3 times or at least longer so we
Yeah.
could have enjoyed. And I feel like that's something that will really help India, because so much cool stuff be happening, and
Mm.
like I'll be like, no, don't let that go. Keep doing that. So
Yeah.
yeah, and that's big within not even just India, but in Krump, a lot of people cheat themselves because they
Mhm.
think like they'll do something, they'll be like, no, this isn't good. So I'll just throw it. They'll just throw it and try to do something else. But no, the more and more you do this, the more and more it will pull us in.
Mm.
One thing about Krump is ideas evolve. If this is here, this can evolve into a bang.
Yeah.
Then you switch the bang, and then it can evolve again, and then it will evolve into get off. And then
Yeah.
once it evolves from get off, it will evolve into a spaz, and then you'll spaz out with one idea. So you have to
Yeah.
let it evolve. It's from idea, material.
Mm.
It can evolve into a combo or a bang, and then
Mm.
it'll evolve into a situation, and then it evolve from a situation into get off, and then after get off, and it evolved to a spaz, and then after that, somebody getting a behind whooped
Yeah.
with one idea.
True. Yeah. One idea.
So yeah,
That's super cool. That's a lot of gems in order to like this. This could be a whole short video of segment how you break down how a round should look like, the build up of the whole round. This is a
yeah,
pure gem. Thank you for sharing that, Rex.
no
Yeah,
problem.
damn. But like while we are at it, like what is the mindset in order to be in your mood, in your character throughout the round? For example, it's really hard for most of us to be consistent for the whole track, right? And I
Yeah.
feel it's not necessary all the time to dance for the whole track, but to train, it really matters a lot during a session or in a battle sometimes, because it shows how much gas you have in your body, right? How much can you accelerate your crump and evolve the energy and elevate it until the spaz, and then you're done,
Yeah.
right? And what's the mindset that you are in when this happens in during these rounds? How
So
calm can you be?
so first and foremost, that's working with pace.
Hmm.
Pace is so important. You don't need to move fast all the time. You don't need to hit the hardest all the time.
Mm.
Sometimes you just gotta let your body relax. And character has nothing to do with the basics. Character can just be the way your head tilt or the way you're looking at someone.
Yeah.
So understanding that your character should be with you all the time. Like, what I've learned, the more characters you have, the
Hmm.
more ideas you'll have. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you should be able to pull from each and every idea. So this is not really a basic thing. This is a character thing we're talking about here.
Yeah.
Because let's say my character neck is always hurting, so I do this a lot.
Mm,
That's a
mm,
character thing.
yeah.
It helps. So when I'm gassing out and I don't have anything else, and I just like do this to like think, this is
Mm,
from the character
mm,
mindset of thing. That's something I wrote down. That's something I know about my character. My character neck is always hurting. So I
damn.
have
Yeah.
this movement, and then this movement makes me grab my hand and look at it. Now, this character moment keeping me into the round.
Mm,
So I can change it. What if my character has a halo on his head? And
yeah.
now I'm doing this, and people think it's a hold or something, but I'm grabbing a halo over
Yeah.
my head. We
Damn.
have to really, there's a point, like there's something in Krump that was invisible props, and then they stopped using them because it's not invisible no more. Now, as
Mm,
dancers, our eyes were trained to see the art of dance. So,
yeah.
like, if you keep doing this, I will understand that. If you keep grabbing this and you keep looking, I'm thinking like, what the hell is up there?
Yeah.
Character thing. So you have to figure out. You will never be alone in your round once you figure out everything about your character. What's your character wearing?
Mm,
What is your character like? Does your character have a pet? What is
mm,
the scene? Is your
yeah.
character locked in a room? Like
Mm,
these things will help you. Like, is your
yeah.
character afraid of something? That will make you do this. Like
Mm.
people's hyping you and you do that, and they're like, what the hell is that? That's a character thing. That
Yeah.
has nothing to do with the basics. No jab, no arm swing, none of that. But Crump is still present because your character is never going to leave you lonely on a dance floor.
Damn.
Once you feel like you're done and you don't have nothing else and you're just sitting there gassed out, it's because your character is not present with you anymore. Your character
Mm,
left. After you ran out of moves and stuff, your character was like, okay, you don't need me no more, bye. But
yeah.
you need to understand everything about your character. I know everything about my character.
Yeah. And you have multiple characters, right?
Yes, I
Yeah.
do have my character. So, and it helps me. So no
Yeah.
matter what, I will never be left lonely on the dance floor because I understand my characters.
Yeah.
Like let's an example. The freak show, half of his face up here is regular, half of it down here is alive. His
Yeah.
face is alive. This
Yeah.
is why this is my freak show sign.
Yeah.
This here can make so as I do my freak show sign, I can hit this with my chest. I can move my arm with this. Like this is
Yeah.
forever. I can use this forever now. That's a part of my character. I wrote that down. That's something I know. My
Is it
freak
is
show.
it a trigger? Is it a trigger to your character of Freak Show? Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
I
Yes.
remember this is how you started your intro in your second round again, solo, if I'm not wrong.
Yes.
Because
Correct.
you go down in your crumb zone and then you start off with this Freak Show thing and the whole round elevates. Super
Yeah.
crazy, bro.
So, and I understand that, and I know my freak show style is a battle style.
Mm,
So I have a battle character. It's a battle character that's never gonna leave me lonely. So when I battle people, it helps. I always tell people make two characters: a
mm,
character for session and a character for a battle, and then the rest
mm,
of it you can just add on.
mm,
Because as Crumpers, characters just happen. If I want to be Green Goblin one day, I'll be the Green Goblin one day. Maybe one day I want to be Naruto, then I'll be Naruto
yeah.
that day. So that does happen. But those characters run out. They
Mm,
run out. They limitless. After I start doing all the Naruto stuff, I run out.
yeah.
That's why when you create your real character that's something from yourself,
Mhm.
like Freak Show character came from my love of horror movies. That's why I try to
Mm,
act like my hand is breaking and stuff. It's my love of horror movies that made it. So
mhm.
when I'm feeling alone, I start to think like horror movies are how I can scream and make my arm look like it's doing weird things. Or, I can bend a part of my body to look weird or something. But
Damn.
that's gonna always stay with me no matter what.
Yeah. It changes the whole perspective of your posture and everything. That the details are added in these characters as you worked on it, made a note on it, and you visualized it, and you make it an expression during your battles. That's amazing. That's
Yes.
years of work. It definitely takes years of work to build characters, right? So you can,
Yes.
yeah. It's not even a one-day thing for sure. As you said, we can break down something that impacted you, or a movie or a video, like an animation. You can try it on a round, and that leaves your body. I want to say it at how you said, like it leaves your body.
Yeah.
You guess
It
that
leaves
the character leaves your body. Like I'm done for today. Call me next time.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is like different. energy portal, right? Krump is just an energy portal. When we are talking about this, it really changes the perspective of about energies.
Yes.
How do you manage your energies on day-to-day basis? Like,
Honestly, I go in with a positive attitude towards everything, even even if it's conflict or something like that, just go into a positive, like, hey, maybe the situation could be solved. Uh, I am who I am, so I try my best to be nice to people.
yeah,
So I just give out the energy I want to receive all day,
yeah,
every day. I know what energy I want to receive from people, so I put that out there. So hopefully it'll reach somebody, touch them, reverse it back, hit somebody else, or come back to me. Is I
yeah.
just try to keep it an ongoing thing. So that's how I go day by day.
Damn, that's law of attraction, right? That's super cool.
Mhm.
You practice and reflect on it. That's amazing, brother. So, where is your Crumb career now? Where do you think? What do you think that you have to do new in the upcoming years, or your plan for 2023? What do you like to share with us about it?
Um, I don't know. Right now, I'm just on this. Right now, I'm just on a wave of just getting more people to look at Crump as something amazing,
Hmm.
and making sure people are proud to be Crumpers, and just making sure the Crump name has good backing of it, because I know
Yeah.
that there's people working overtime to bash Crump, and most of them is Crumpers. And so right now, like
Mm,
my goal right now is just to make Crump, like, look good. I'm trying my best. I got my little homies back, and I'm doing my part. I'm encouraging people. I'm sharing their footages. I'm
mm,
finding different communities, speaking to them. You
yeah.
know, on Instagram, I reach out to smaller communities, all around the world, and I contact them, let them know I see them doing their thing, keep going. Like, Crump needs you. Like, I express this to everybody around the world, that like this dance that gave us so much, yeah, it's gonna need us every day. So when
Yeah.
you go to class, you bring another dancer in. This dance needs us every day. So I I do always talk to the so-called little guy and all the other, because I know, like, that one person.
Yeah.
Don't Like, I tell people, don't ever feel like you're unimportant to Crump. Every day you wake up and you choose Crump, you are putting on for Crump each
True.
and every day. Just because you're not dancing in the Super Bowl or in these music videos or winning the EBS or the Illis or coming to the Beast Camp or at the Desert Storm or going to the Mecca, that does not mean you're not putting on for this dance. Okay. Soon as you throw a session in your community, soon as
Mm,
you have a podcast, you're speaking to other dancers, so you can show people in your community that that's winning for the dance, and that's the wave I'm on. I'm just trying to make sure as I'm trying to get as many people as I can on the wave of taking care of this dance. This dance is, we
damn.
lost sight on taking care of the dance because we've been trying to battle, win tournaments, be the best, try to get to good and stuff. And it's just like we're missing the taking care and part, the nurturing part of our
Yeah.
community.
And now is the right time to nurture, right? Like, there's so much happening in the Chrome world, so many new faces, so many new trendsetters in a way, right? Like, killers are coming up, and now is the best
Uh-huh.
time to nourish this culture more. And you guys are already doing it, and we're all trying to do our parts every day, as you said, here and there, right? Little each day, and really that makes this community as large as possible and live as possible. That's
Mhm.
amazing. Thanks for sharing that. Yeah.
Yeah, no problem.
That's an amazing message though. Yeah. I think this will definitely help put in perspective for so many dancers who are coming up and people are already in the community for long years, to how
Yeah.
to contribute, how to resilient them, and then give back, reflect on the community to each and everybody, I guess. That's super cool.
Hmm.
So, do you have any questions for me? Think, yeah.
Um, um, yeah, I guess, like, yeah, who's your favorite crumpers in India?
Uh, my favorite crumper, I would always say Hafgard is the first person that I saw in my city. I was lucky enough that he was like practicing in my city, and he lives here. And
Wow.
yeah, so eventually I wanted to be in his fam also, so I always trained to be in that. So he's my one of my favorite dancer, because for me he gives out that technicality, and the level of dancing is much more higher than somebody else that I saw in my own country. And so he would be my top one forever. And then I would say Homie now. My recent favorite is Homie. Homie, I've been
Nice.
following him
Right,
for
right,
a
right.
long time, and we always connect, and he's one of my favorite dancers. And also, who would I say? Hectic, yeah. When I started off, as the first Krump event that I went to was Krump that was hosted by Srishti, and Hectic was the winner right there, and it kind of really inspired me to see him perform in that level, right? So I would
Nice.
say him. That would be three, yeah. And I
Right,
think,
right.
and there's like a lot of young Krumpers that I've come across over the years, right? And they all inspire me so much to do more and be more creative. This is what I would say in
Yeah.
terms of India.
Yeah, yeah, you're right, 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 right,
Yeah,
right. Yeah, that's good. That's good. That's good. That's good. That's good. Yeah, because yeah, that's always like something like I always want to know
yeah,
about people. Like, yeah, who's your favorite person like in the community and stuff. So yeah, that's like that's
yeah.
dope. And like Half God, first and foremost, I'm I started watching Half God because I seen a flyer. I seen a flyer and it
Okay.
said Half God on it. And I got introduced to him because I just remember looking at the flyer and thinking, that name is raw as fuck. I'm like, that's a good ass name. I'm thinking
Yeah.
like, cause one thing I always learned about Crumpers first is their name. I'm like, oh yeah, that's a decent name, But I seen that and I was just like, wow, he got a really, really good name. He
Yeah.
got a good name. That sounds dope. Like Half God. I remember commenting on the flyer too. I'm like, yo, Half God is a dope ass name. And and then I clicked on his page, and then I like started watching his footage, and I'm just like, dude, he's freaking dope. And
Yeah.
while I was in India, a few dancers that I thought was like super amazing, and I was like, yeah, who teach you? And a few of them was like Half God, and I was like, what? So
Yeah.
that's super dope. That Half God is like really
Yeah.
like that in the community. Like he's people's favorite. He has little homies. He
Yeah.
trains people. That I think that's really dope to
Yeah.
know that about Half God and stuff like that, because I love his name, and he's
Yeah.
really bugged, but
Yeah.
I like really love his name. He's like one of the when I tell people when people ask like, yeah, what's the best names you ever you heard in Krump? I actually say Half God.
Yeah.
Best
I'm
name.
gonna call him right after this interview and
Yeah,
tell him
like
this.
that's like legit one of the best names in Crump. I'll tell him. I'd be like
Yeah.
Hitman. I'd be like Hitman Solo. Going down my list, but then Half God is in there now because I swear I was scrolling down Instagram and then I seen it and then seen he was judging with two other people, but I'm like, oh, it's somebody named Half God. That's dope.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I really
That's my
I really like his
sensei.
name.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's my biggest, like we like this whole Crump experience like made turned out to be beautiful because of him for me, because the way we
that's
connected through Crump and how we became brothers for life now over the years, that really puts me more work towards Crump every day, because this is what I would live for.
yeah.
Crump is one thing, and the brotherhood that brings with Crump, the way we can understand and connect and humble ourselves each other, and stay together irrespective of what happens, and try to do the right thing that works for the community. This is what I live for, I guess. And he's been inspiring me all these years, for sure.
and
Definitely.
and that's a big win for like
Yeah,
Half God because he on his part
yeah,
towards the Crump. With you even feeling like that, that means
yeah,
Half God is one a good big homie, but two, he's Crump. Like he's not a
yeah.
crumper. He's Crump.
It's good as
Like
Crump.
there's
Yeah,
people, there's people. I'm telling you, you crump until you become Crump. I'm telling
mm,
you, like Half God do not crump. He is
it
Crump
is Crump.
because of
Yeah,
he gave you that feel. He
yeah,
is Crump. He
yeah,
graduated.
yeah,
So like that gives me more respect to the man for real, because that even like someone can speak about him like that. Like
yeah.
that's so dope.
True that, because I have the first-hand experience towards this, right? To be as close in the same city, and we relax, we chill, we talk about Krump and other businesses, because we're also getting older. Now we're trying
Yeah,
to make some buck more than dance, and try to help our family and really grow in the industry or something. And it really puts me into perspective of what a big homie should look like from real, right? And and it helps me to why I should be a student of Krump forever, because I want to give the same energy to somebody, right? The
yes,
transfer of energy, transfer of knowledge should be something I would look up to all the time, because knowledge wins for me any day. Good heart and knowledge wins for me. I will humble down. I will learn, sit down, listen. Yeah, it's super cool. Thanks for sharing those kind words about Half God. I think it really makes me happy, and also will definitely make him happy. Thank you so much
yeah,
for that. Yeah.
yeah, no problem, man.
Damn, brother. But we did have a long conversation for sure. It's over 2 hours of recording. I'm really happy about
That's
that.
good. That's good.
Yeah,
That's good. It lets people get into it. Like you gotta let
yeah,
people into it, you
yeah,
know? And just throw like, just
yeah.
like, oh, this happened. Nah, you gotta like really get into it
True.
because because I could talk forever because I care about the dance like so much. And I just know this dance it has so much to offer to each and every last one of us. So
Definitely. It definitely does. And I always also teach, and I try to teach in English most of the times, because I want to put out like in a way of help people with language in wherever I come from. Like it's pretty difficult. This dance form is pretty much like curated with the English language, right? So whatever
yeah,
we see on YouTube or everything is in English. So I would like to always keep it in English. Even this podcast, most of the people ask me to do it in different regional languages, but I stick to English because this is something that it helps us to like helps us in our school and colleges, because it's a mandatory thing in India to have English to make a lot of money. Right? Even
yeah,
the first thing, a person goes through an interview and they get filtered out because there's so many people out there trying to seek jobs, right? The first
yeah,
thing would be a group discussion where we have to speak in English. And I've been into these interviews a lot of times, and I would
yeah,
get easily selected, and I would feel bad because of that, because just because I knew a little bit of grammatical corrections, that I have an upper end, but I know everybody else in the room are more intelligent than me, more than this
yeah,
language. So that's that I feel language should not be a barrier in order to learn something. So this is
yes,
the reason I focus on speaking or communicating in English. Even whenever we go to a session, we try to do that. We only
yeah,
communicate in English so that people watch you guys or listen to you. It's easier for them to connect and understand the real gems of the terminologies in Krump, right? It's mostly in English.
yeah.
Yeah,
So yeah, that's smart. That's actually pretty good because it'll help people learn more and more
yeah,
and more. Like you learn in Crump, and you get to get a sprinkle of English in there. It's pretty
yeah,
dope.
yeah. It's a win-win situation. If you can go crack some interviews, get a job, feed yourself and family, and also Krump. This is the motive
Mhm.
of me. Like I think India has so much population, right? And the numbers of Krumpers are still low comparatively, right? It could be a large number worldwide in a perspective of, let's say, I've heard people say there are 1,000+ Krumpers in India, and that's a big
Mhm.
number, right?
Mhm.
And and for India, it's a very small number. That's what I would say, you know?
Dang, yeah,
Yeah.
that's a huge number.
Yeah. For Indian population, it's such a small fraction in a way,
Mhm.
right? So my motive is to like bring regular people to watch Chrome, you know. I
Yeah,
want regular parents, regular school-going kids and students, teens, right, or working professionals to learn about Crump and come visit Crump events. And that's where I feel we can grow, like bring out a lot of larger audience to this dance form from where we come
yeah,
from. This is a huge
yeah.
plus. Yeah, that's the motive for me this year and the coming years, I guess. Yeah, that's the reason I'm also hosting this podcast, for one of the reasons, because I want to bring you on this platform so that people from India, the youngsters, or everybody can rephrase their ideology about Crump listening to you. Yeah,
Mhm. Yeah, yeah, bro. It's growing, bro. Like I said, bro, it's a vibe. And plus, like, yeah, I love India. So, you know,
Thank you so much, brother. Yeah. So we're coming to the end of the whole podcast. So I'm gonna close it down for now and I let you sleep. Right?
hey, I appreciate that. Even though I'm
Yeah.
about to play a game,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
yeah, I'm gonna play a game and watch TV.
Of course. You have your leisure time. And one last thing, like before we end, who would you like to recommend next on this Krump interview? Or even
Who would I
non-Krump
recommend
interview?
next? Who would I recommend next? Someone who is really intelligent in the movement that I think should be heard more is Tetris. He's Twin 1K.
Okay, Tetris. Got it.
Yeah, Tetris 21K. You do an interview with him. He's really, 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 really dope. He's a dope person, and his intellect on Krump is really it's it. Like he knows a lot. Like he's good.
Damn. Thank you so much for that, brother. I will definitely get in contact with him and try to get it as soon as possible. But
Yeah,
I would really like to heartfully thank you for your time and your wisdom and your words, that you shared with us. And I really appreciate everything that you do for the community. And I'm so happy to have this conversation with you. And this will be in my mind and heart forever. Thank you so much, brother.
thank you, thank you. I appreciate you. I appreciate you for considering me and listening to me. And you know that my message is gonna get around India. I can't wait
Yeah.
to see who it inspires. Everyone, if you see this part, tag me, inbox me, let me know what you thought about it, and if you got any questions, y'all know y'all can talk to me. So
Yeah, definitely. To adding on, REXX has a Crumb program for the year, and I can put up the poster in the end of this video or somewhere in the video so that you can follow and contact him on Instagram. And he has tutorial classes on YouTube where he breaks down battle strategies and other things as a free thing for every crumper and even non-crumper who wants to get into Crump for the first time. Thank you for all sticking around in this channel today. Have a great, amazing day.
okay,
See you.
peace out, everybody. Peace out.
In VHK. Thank you so much, brother. Have a great time. Good night.
You too.